If you look at 8th grade reading scores, you'll see that there are five other states that are close to Massachusetts. We're still highest. So how does North Reading stack up in Massachusetts? Our MCAS results for grade 10, 90% of our students are at the advanced or proficient level in English language arts. 89% of our students are at the advanced or proficient level in mathematics, and 82% of our students are advanced or proficient in science and technology. If you look at that in Massachusetts, we're at 90%, statewide is 81% in reading, English language arts rather. And in mathematics, we're at 89 and the statewide average is 75, 14 percentage points difference. And if you look at science and technology, we're at 82 and the statewide average is 61. It's 21% better than the statewide average. North Reading High School is in the top 6% of public high schools in the country for a second year in a row. That's out of a Newsweek article in mid-March. We're in the top 30 in public high schools in Massachusetts for the second year in a row. If you look at our SAT results, you'll notice that they go from 2007, 2008, 2009, reading, math, and writing. You notice that in each case, the bars go up and to the right. And as my old boss used to say, that's the right direction. 92% of the class of 2008 went on to further education. Now we have some challenges ahead. We have a new superintendent to find. We are active in that pursuit. We're down to 2 candidates. We're intending to finish that operation in the next week or two, and by the 15th of April we should have a new superintendent selected. We're challenged in maintaining level services. The budget is very, very tight. It's critical that we maintain level services. We have a very exciting middle and high school project on the horizon. I think you're going to hear about that in the near future. We'll let the secondary school building folks give that presentation. We need to work harder at getting more financial assistance. We have been working over the past couple of years diligently with our legislators, working with coalition partners, the Stand for Children people, the Suburban Coalition, the North Shore Coalition for School Funding. And our efforts in that have resulted in a needs assessment being included in the education reform bill that was passed by the legislature in January. That needs assessment is a critical factor because you've heard about Chapter 70. This is the way that we increase our Chapter 70 funding. In summary, your schools are succeeding in providing good education, giving good value. We're working to improve, and we appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Any other officers or committees wishing to give a report this evening?
Secondary School Building Committee.
Secondary School Building Committee.
Greg Doble, 4 Equestrian Drive, member of the Secondary School Building Committee for almost 5 years. The Secondary Schools Building Committee in North Reading was organized in 2005 and reorganized again in 2010. The Secondary Schools Building Committee will have a detailed presentation at the June town meeting. The Massachusetts School Building Authority, the MSBA, works with local communities to identify school facility needs, develop fiscally responsible and educationally appropriate solutions, and to create safe, sound, and sustainable learning environments. Hundreds of towns in Massachusetts have submitted statements of interest to the state requesting a school building project. Each town is in a holding pattern, waiting for the state to prioritize their resources, both in terms of necessity and available resources. At this point, you cannot move forward with a project on your own or risk the state not kicking in their portion of the cost. You have to sit and wait for your ticket to be called. We're happy to report that the MSBA has selected North Reading to move forward to the next phase of this process. We need to follow a very specific process, and the state oversees and works with us every step of the way. We'll have a detailed presentation at the June town meeting where we will seek to fund the cost of this next step. In the next step of the process, the state requires us to hire an owner's project manager and conduct a feasibility study to investigate potential options and solutions to the deficiencies identified in the statement of interest North Reading submitted to the MSBA for the high school. It may include a study of options and solutions involving the middle school. Basically, we are doing what we are required to do by the state in their process to get MSBA approval for a secondary schools building project that will address the needs of the high school and hopefully the middle school at the same time. The decision and total scope of the project will be determined in working hand in hand with the MSBA. Having our number called by the MSBA is a once-in-a-generation and quite possibly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the town of North Reading. We look forward to presenting in detail at town meeting in June. Thank you.
Anyone else seeking recognition? Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the reports, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? Mr. Messeri.
Mr. Moderator, I move to recess the regular town meeting until the conclusion of the special town meeting, Daniel A. Shea Auditorium, North Reading High School, Park Street.
We have a motion to recess so that we can do the business of the special town meeting. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous? The Board of Registrars has certified to me that in accordance with Section 172(4) of the Code of North Reading, the quorum of 150 voters required to call a special town meeting is present. It being well past the hour of 7:05, we will now conduct the business of the special town meeting. Article 1. Mr. O'Leary.
Mr. Moderator, I move to amend the fiscal year 2010 operating budget voted under Article 21 of the April 6, 2009 annual town meeting as follows. Line 49, solid waste. Transfer $67,000 from solid waste stabilization fund to supplement the solid waste budget. Line 56, veterans services. Transfer $18,800 from general insurance. Line 6, for veterans benefits, departmental expenses, as specified in Article 1 as printed in the warrant.
We have the motion. Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. O'Leary.
Moderator, the Board of Selectmen recommends, as far as the two budget items that are required transfers, the solid waste budget is running below the budget. We do have a solid waste stabilization fund which was established just for this reason. So we're asking for the transfer out of the solid waste stabilization fund. As many of you recall, we had a long-serving veterans agent, Tim Callahan, retired this past year after 28 years of serving the community so well. We have a new veterans agent. We have a couple of issues here, one in relation to training for the new veterans agent. In addition to that, additional benefits that are required of us to supply our returning veterans, which we have a growing population to do so. So the transfer is required in order to meet the budgetary requirements under the current fiscal year. We're looking to do it out of the insurance fund, where we have realized a little bit of savings as a result of the negotiations with our town employees union. So the funds are available to transfer out of there into the veterans budget. Thank you. Board of Selectmen asked me to recommend.
Does the Finance Committee wish to make a recommendation? Mrs. Shortman.
The Finance Committee recommends.
Discussion. This requires a 2/3 vote because of the stabilization fund. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 2, Mr. Vino.
Mr. Moderator, I move to transfer the sum of $695 from Article 21 of the April 6, 2009 annual town meeting, pensions and benefits / county retirements assessments, line 29, to pay prior year's medical bills for a retired public safety employee's disability, as specified in Article 2 as printed in the warrant.
We have the motion. Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Vino.
The Board of Selectmen recommend.
For the Finance Committee.
The Finance Committee recommends.
This requires a 9/10 vote because it's being taken up at a special town meeting. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Article 3. Mr. Delaney.
Mr. Moderator, Article 3. Amend Article 23 of April 6, 2009 town meeting, fund retirement obligations. I move to amend the vote taken under Article 23 of the April 6, 2009 town meeting, fund retirement obligations, by transferring the sum of $75,000 from Article 21 of the April 6, 2009 annual town meeting, pensions and benefits county retirement assessment, line 29, to fund additional FY 2010 retirement obligations as specified in Article 3 as printed in the warrant.
We have the motion. Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Delaney.
Board of Selectmen recommends additional information. This sum of money is needed to fund 3 additional retirement obligations on the municipal side of government. This is to cover such items as vacation leave buyback and sick leave buyback, which are unanticipated. These are contractual obligations under current collective bargaining agreements.
For the Finance Committee.
Finance Committee recommends.
Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. That concludes the special town meeting. I'm just waiting for the motion.
Mr. Moderator, I move to adjourn this special meeting, CDD.
We have the motion. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. We're now on Article 3 of the annual town meeting. Mr. Yule.
Mr. Moderator, I move to authorize the Department of Public Works to accept easements on behalf of the town as specified in Article 3 as printed in the warrant.
Does the Board of Selectmen wish to make a recommendation? Mr. Yule.
Mr. Moderator, the Board of Selectmen recommend. Just for your information, that this is presented